Hello guys, hope you're having a great day. Okay, in this video I'm going to be talking about layouts, and Droidscript offers 4 layouts. That's linear, frame, absolute, and card layout. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I made this empty project. It's actually empty, there's nothing in it. It's just called layouts.js. Okay. Okay, I don't know why nothing is showing. Okay. Okay, let's make a new one. A new layout, and we'll call it layouts with the Z. Then we'll edit it, and by default and by default every time when you make a layout, Droidscript makes it a linear layout. So yeah, let me not confuse anyone, and let me just restart the whole project from ground up. If you remember last time when I was talking about the app Droidscript overview, in my Droidscript overview video, I mentioned the onStart, which is the first method or the last method code every time when you make your application. So we put the layouts in the onStart method or function, and this is how we create the layout using Droidscript. We give it a name, a variable name, or let me go back to my roots and give it a var. Okay, and I talked about the basics of Java in my JavaScript tutorial. So yeah, if you're not clear, you can just go and visit it. So you call the app, and in the app it's like an object which has properties. In this case, I'm gonna call a method in the app object, and that's known as create layout. And Droidscript makes things easy for you by giving you this side where you can, in case you forget the full name, you can just check out this side, and it will give you like an auto completion of the name. So yeah, create layout, and in the create layout we have this create layout, and then we give it a name, and after a name it also has options, just like here it says the type and options. Yeah, again, if you want to find out more about the layout, you can just click this button, or you can go here, okay, that's the easiest way, but you can also check out the documentation. So we have the layout. One of the options that you will mostly be using, I think it's fill XY, which fills your entire screen. To distinguish it from other layouts, let's just give it a color. So lay dot add back, sorry, I think it's set back color. Yeah, the same color is fine. And then now let's add it to the app.add layout, which is lay. Alright, when you run this project, it will give us a pinkish, I think, purplish kind of color as our background. So that's how, and now here's how the layout works, the linear layout. So button 1, we'll call it but1 is equals to app.add button. I'll talk about the components later, or the controls later. Okay, it will belong to the linear layout, and the text will be but1. We can just create another button, but2 app.add but2, and then to belong to the linear layout, non-code lay, and it will be called but2. Alright, it will be called but2. So when you run this, you will notice that the layout's actually like one is on top of the it's like below the other. One is on top and two is below it, just like that. And in case you want to align them horizontally, you just have to put an option known as horizontal. Horizontal. There they are, horizontal. And in case you want to make them to be centered, you can write, or they're already centered by default, they're top centered, so you can put even bottom. You can even put them on the bottom, okay, then they'll be centered but on the bottom. There they are. There are actually more options that you can explore and whatnot. So yeah, that's the thing about and in case you want to make them start from the left, you can just put left, just like that. There are a lot of options. You can explore them in the option section by clicking this part. Click on it, then click on options, then you see all these options. So now the other one that I want to talk about is frame. It's a bit different from linear in a way that it's like everything will be on top of the other. An example here, when I run this, 2 will be on top, but in actual sense you might think as though 1 is gone, but no, 1 is actually there. It's there, it's just below 2. So if I had to hide but 2, you'd actually now see that gone. You'd actually see button 1. That's how framework, it just stacks or stack one on top of the other. See, but 1 is already there. And then the other one is absolute. Okay, absolute, just like the name itself. It's okay. You have to use the set position for each element, because otherwise they'll act as though they're frame layouts. Well, by one will actually be on top of the other, so we don't want that. But yeah, we don't want that. So absolute is like we have to use a set position, and we actually have to set a position for each and every button. So in this case, let me set the position for button 1 by giving it the same, then set position. Can we check out more options that are offered by the position? That it first talks about the left, and by default again they're in decimal fractions. So 0.5, that means to be on the left 0.5. Okay, 0, and then top 0.5 should be centered, sort of centered, and width and height is fine, just like that. So button 1 will be somewhere here. See, yeah. And in case I want to make it center, I can just put 0.5.0.5. It won't actually be okay. Yeah, it won't actually be centered because this actually has a width, and that width is like, it's like, okay, it's starting from sort of the center. If you look at here, it's like the center, and then goes its current width of the button. And the last thing I want to talk about now, it's the card layout. We just put the card layout below this, and we'll go back to making the linear because the card is quite interesting. So there we go. Now set position won't work. Set position only works for absolute. So yeah, and a card, we'll create it just the same. Okay, card app dot create layout, or you can just put layout, then it will give you an auto completion, then just click on create layout. It doesn't need any of these options. If you want, you can give them, but it doesn't really need them. Just card, and inside card oh yeah, we can just add the card to the current layout. So lay dot add layout, or add child rather, then card to be added, and now we'll create a txt or txt add add text. I'll add it to the card, and then the text will be hello. Now here's how the card actually looks. Okay, right now it doesn't look very nice, but let's put in some padding. Okay, let me also just center this. V center the center. Okay, now we have centered it, everything. Then now let me just put some padding on this button. Also, let me try to make the whole thing light, the whole application in light mode, or light theme rather. So cfg.light, which is configuration.light. So our whole thing will actually be, yeah, unfortunately by default the card is black. So let's make it light by giving it any color. Dot set back color, and we'll give it gray. I don't know if it accepts this gray or the other gray. Okay, this gray is fine. Now let's add some padding to this, or we can just give it a width from here. The width of 0.3, also 0.3. Okay, I think it will work there. If you look at this card, it sort of has some shadows. Like, I don't know if you can really see them because I can't zoom in, but it sort of has some shadows. And what you can do now with the card is that you can add we can actually use two more properties to the same card, and that is set elevation, card.set elevation, which adds the shadow so that you can actually see it more clearly. So set elevation, and you can, they're all in pixels by the way. So set elevation 15, it actually be darker. Like now you can actually see the shadows, and if you can't see it, don't worry, I can just make it even more dark, maybe 55. Yeah, I hope you can see these shadows. Yeah, it's sort of, yeah, the shadows. Okay, let me try to change the color. Maybe let me try to, so that you can actually see the color more clearly, like the shadow. Yeah, I hope now you can see it. Okay, and then the other one, it's card.set corner radius. Set corner radius also in pixels, so you can just put maybe 30, and you see it will look kind of roundish. Yeah, like that. And I think you can also use some properties on the card, or some options on the card, and that is, you can center it and v center. Unfortunately no, you can't. So, but there is a hack behind it. A card only accepts one child by default. Like if I were to try to add another child, text2 is equal to upload add text, and then add the card, and then we say hi in this other text. Hi. Oh, it actually does accept. I thought it would, but yeah. So the hack behind it that I want to talk about when it comes to cards is that what you can do is put the card inside, like put a linear layout inside the card, and that could help align things in a way that you'd love them to be aligned. Yeah. So with that said, hope this was helpful, and hope you have a great day. Thank you. Okay, I noticed something about cards is that cards actually work similar as frame, in a way that the child actually be stuck on top of the other. So what you can do again, like because what I did was that if you notice, like hello is actually on top, hey is actually on top of hello. If I were to give it a background color, the same hey, so txt 2 dot set back color, it would actually be see, hey is actually showing, but hello, we're only seeing the O of hello, because so the thing, again, the properties don't, the options don't seem to work, so it's best to just embed it in linear layout, like create the card, then create a layout. So in this case, create a layout like this, create a layout, or the easiest way, let me just do this will add card, and then we'll add lay, and then everything will be, and then card, and then everything will actually be part of the lay. The lay where we can now have multiple options. Okay. See, now everything is inside a layout, which is a linear layout. So that's a really cool hack that you can use with cards. So with that said and done, because if you notice, the properties that are for lay are the ones that are working for the button. So if I were to remove the vertical, align the vertical center and the horizontal part, they would actually be top centered, and they'll be vertical like that. So that's a trick you can do with a card. But other than that, you can actually do more things. So do some research and try to read the documentation, discover more properties and methods, and see what you can do. With that said, thank you guys.